Bonjour, je suis not manly, ici le voyage d'espace je ne sais quoi, and welcome to part 24, where we are visiting Hamek, the third dwarf planet of the system. Just under 1,000 kilometers across, just under 8 micro-Kerbins in mass, and surface gravity that's very much like stock Minmus once again. A day is only 4 hours, not quite as fast as Edna, but still very, very quick. Orbital period around the Sun is over 50 years. It's going to take quite some time to get out here. Delta V to get out here does require almost 4 kilometers per second, and capturing takes about 2.3 depending on your inclination. Landing, fortunately, is pretty easy at a mere 550 meters per second. This place is also a superb challenge of your mission planning skills, and because of that spin, you have a very easy landing and ascent. But just like Edna, in fact not more so, tall craft will have a problem out here, not to mention that it's going to take 10 years, possibly more, just to get out here through conventional means, and there are dangerous fissures at the North Pole that I will show you in just a bit. Also, I think the science multiplier could have been a little better for what it takes to get out here. When we last left our heroes Valentina, Bob and Doug Kerbin, they were on our warp ship, heading several times light speed on their way to Hamek. This trip only took about 5 minutes. Not bad at all. This drive, though, in a career mode playthrough, would have cost tens of millions of funds. So you better get that fundraising if you're going to do a warp ship in a career game. What we're going to do is we're going to try to get a little closer to Hamek here, and then we're going to close our orbit. We're going to do a more or less circular orbit. There's Hamek out there in the distance. Because if we get a circular orbit, we can just warp in and use the angular momentum mode just to shrink our orbit more or less direct. Once we get this maneuver set up, we'll warp out to the maneuver, kind of warping prograde. There we go. Then we will point radial in, we'll close our orbit first, and then we'll point radial in to warp the rest of the way in. The warp drive is smart enough to deactivate within a certain range of celestial bodies. Hamek is pretty close, but it's still pretty safe. I think high space is the lower limit for a warp drive. There we go. We're closed, we got a pretty much circular orbit, and then we're just going to point inward and warp the rest of the way in. Not bad at all. Plenty of exotic matter here for the rest of the trip. Alright. On our way in, we noticed an anomaly on the surface. It's very close to the equator. Not bad, so we'll mark it there, and we'll try to visit that anomaly when we get on the surface. There we go. The warp drive becomes less efficient the closer it gets to a body, but that's okay. We'll be able to use our conventional means to get in and out of low orbit. And by conventional, I mean point, click, and explode with old boom boom there. How close can we go? Come on, Val, let's see if we can get a little closer. There we go. It indicates the failsafe there is just over 200 kilometers up. Not bad. Then all we gotta do is shrink our orbit to low Hamek orbit. We'll use old boom boom for that. Not bad at all. I end up going a little bit over, but that's okay. We'll switch over to our conventional rockets to bring periapsis back up to 10 kilometers, I think. Come on. There we go. Yep. So we finish our orbit. We'll turn on the exotic matter since we're not using the warp drive. Interestingly, the proximity to a celestial body does not affect exotic matter production. As long as you've got electric charge, you can produce exotic matter. There is a gorgeous Hamek sunrise for what it's worth. We can see the different inner worlds there. There's Kerbin, Eve, Duna, and Moho at the very least. Again, I think we overdo it just a little. There we go. And then we'll use our conventional rockets to fix that. We're looking for a 10 kilometer by 10 kilometer orbit, and there we go, 10 by 10. Not bad. And with this, we can top up the tanks on the rover. Remember, we did a little bit of load balancing with the fuel on that thing. And then we can detach it and send Bob and Doug Kerbin down to the surface. They have an Octo 2 probe core to help with navigation. They won't be able to do target hold, but that's okay, as long as they can do prograde, retrograde hold. They can land quite safely. And again, I've got that docking port on the bottom and facing the bottom, so we need to point prograde to thrust retrograde. Now, Kerbal Engineer is giving me some trouble again. Just like Moho, I had to start my suicide burn much earlier than it suggested, not to mention the altitude became negative. So yeah, if you see that, you just have to eyeball it for a little bit until the numbers become a little more sane. Probably Hamek's high spin is having an impact on this as well. This lander is designed from the Moho rover lander that we used back in the JNSQ do-over mission. I have that up at Kerbal X if you'd like to try it out. There we go. With Kerbal Engineer suicide burn being a little saner, we can do a proper touchdown. It shouldn't get any worse than Hamek. Elu has an atmosphere, and Celeste and Tam are even smaller than Hamek, so we should be fine. Touchdown! There we go. So our two hose heads get to do a bit of a stretch. Bob comes out to do some EVA science and to plant our first flag. There we go. The science multiplier could have been better, but Hamek is a pretty easy place to land on, so maybe that was why it was done. Let's get some biome love over here at least, eh? We do find some scannable objects though, including this rock over here. It's the one thing that seems to stand out amongst all of the other rocks. It does pick it up as tidal light stone, but the scanning arm's having a bit of a problem with that. I don't know why. I've always had this problem with the smaller objects, but we don't need to scan it, we can always just get up and pick it up. So after one more try, I tried the same trick we tried on Duna, and well, that didn't work either. Go on, Bob, go pick up that rock. Pretty much Galileo team was restricted to the built-in scannable and retrievable objects, so that's why this is a tidal light stone on Hamek. 480 science, I mean, not bad, but you know, I thought it could be better, I don't know. Anyway, we do find one other object here. It's scannable but not retrievable, and I haven't seen this object before. What is this object? We gotta get a little closer there, let's see. Gilly Ridgeline. Wait a minute. Gilly Ridgeline. Did I miss something at Gilly? I could have swore I would have seen something like that up at Gilly when we were over there. Wonder what happened. Anyway, that's a much more bountiful 720 science. Very good there. Anyway, look at this. We're in a highland crater, and the highlands are as beautiful as ever. Looks like a little bit of space weather in there, maybe from some dust or rocks, I don't know. There's the sun with the inner planets there. Very distant object here. Hamek spins so fast that even here at like 50 times time warp, it just goes really quickly. My goodness. Anyway, there wasn't much else to show here except for this North Pole, up at the North Pole. And look at the sun. It just spins around here pretty quickly, given Hamek's high rotation speed. I wonder what the sun would look like if we were able to stand on that thing, but that doesn't look very safe. Don't try to walk up there or anything. Anyway, once we had our fill of the North Pole, we drove down to the location of the anomaly. We stopped in this flatland area here. Rather pink colored, not bad at all. Very different compared to other worlds. And we finally get to that anomaly. It is one of the random monoliths. Just like the rest of the non-stock worlds, it does not give us a science bonus, but that's okay. It's good that we found the thing. And by the way, happy Canada Day! I understand this is more of a time for reflection than a usual Canada Day, but that's okay. I'd like to think that we can own up to our mistakes a little better than some folks. Anyway, let's get Bob and Doug Kerman up there for a selfie and for planting the flag. There we go. Our first flag in the Kuiper Belt. Way to go, guys! Doug's like, what's going on here? I don't like this. Anyway, happy Canada Day 2021. Hopefully we got through the rest of this nonsense in one piece, eh? Be safe, folks. And with that, we get ready to take off back to the main mission craft. Just like the other rovers of this type, we just go a vertical takeoff and then horizontal acceleration. Come on. And we got Doug in the driver's seat this time, just because that's how it worked. There we go. Up we go. We missed some biomes in low space, so we're just getting our gravity detector out there, and we're catching them as we get. We're not going to get the poles, but that's okay. One less biome, doesn't matter. Set up our rendezvous with Valentina. Oh, let's get that camera set up right. And there we go. A few moments later, and we get to the main mission craft. There we go. Easy approach, easy dock. We've only got the docking port juniors, so Doug's gonna have to strut this thing back up once we're docked. And then Bob will unload the science, and then we'll get ready to head out to Eeloo next. A pretty quick mission, but hey, Hamek only has 4 biomes, that's okay, we'll make it a quick mission for now. Go on, Bob, do your thing. Okay, after that, and after Doug struts some things up, we get all stowed away, and then we'll rebalance this craft for heading out to Eeloo. Until then, I'm not manly. Fly safe.